Hello friend, today we are recapped Mission to Mars movie without wasting any time. Towards the main storyline, the movie starts with a party. The party in which many astronauts had come. Luke, Jim, Phil, Woody and Audi's wife had come to this party. All these people are astronauts. At the same time we come to know that people are going to go to Mars for a space mission after a few weeks. While during this time his friends Jim, Phil, Woody and Terry will work to monitor his mission from the International Space Station. We come to know this from the conversations between them. Earlier, Jim and his wife Maggie were going to go for this mission, but suddenly due to Maggie's ill health, Jim refuses to go on the space mission because he wanted to stay with Maggie and take care of her. But perhaps fate had something else in store, and due to this disease, Jim's wife dies, due to which he breaks down badly from inside, and this was the reason that instead of Jim, Luke is selected to go to Mars. Now from here the scene shifts to a time 13 months later, and let's look at the astronauts who had reached Mars and started their exploration there. During this exploration, those astronauts see a huge mountain in front of them, out of which something like a white stone was visible. After seeing it, at first they thought that maybe it was a big piece of ice. But it was almost impossible to find such a big piece of ice on Mars. Therefore he sends all this information to the space station. Also, Luke and all his friends wish Jim a happy birthday through another video message, because the day his message was about to reach the space station. Actually, that day was also Jim's birthday. After this they all go near the white stone-like thing to examine it closely. After reaching there, they come to know that some kind of soft sound is coming from this stone. Therefore, he captures the sound through his machines and sends some signals towards the stone. But as soon as they do this, all their devices suddenly stop reducing, and within no time the surrounding stones start flying in the air, with which a strong dust storm starts rising there, which takes the shape of a big snake. And then that storm moves towards all of them and takes the lives of 3 of them in a moment.
As soon as he dies, the storm calms down completely. After this we are able to see that white-looking big stone, which is actually a big face like that of a human being. But how such a huge human face was formed here, we will know later in the movie. Meanwhile, no one was able to understand anything in the International Space Station. What happened to Luke and his companions, because they had lost contact with the astronauts who had gone to Mars. However, after some time they see the picture of planet Mars on the screen, by which they come to know there was a terrible storm on planet Mars, and perhaps all their astronauts have died because of this storm. Hearing this, Luke's 4 friends become very sad. Only then, as soon as contact is made with another satellite, a video message is received from those people, in which Luke is telling that Luke of my team was killed in the fierce storm, but I somehow survived. Now before he can tell anything else, their contact is lost again. Let's decide to move on to meet. But seeing this his senior, whose name was Ray, he refuses to let them all go to Mars. He does not give, but tells that it takes 6 months to go from the space station to Mars. And for so long, people's childhood is very difficult. At the same time, Ray also had the suspicion that people might not be alive until he received their video message. But despite this, he continued to hold on which he gives them a spaceship and gives them permission to go to Mars. Next we are shown the time a few days later, where the film tells Jim by making a DNA-like structure from some candy and showing it to him, that this DNA will be of my future wife, on which Jim takes some candies and eats it. After this, Jim sits alone and starts watching videos of his wife Maggie, remembering her. Now traveling like this, it takes only 1 day for all of them to reach Mars. Then let's start the simulation of going to your meet. But then small pieces of meteoroids moving around the shuttle collide with their shuttle and make some small holes in it. Through one of the holes, the meteoroids hit the film's hand, causing bleeding from it. Also, due to these things, the oxygen of the space shuttle starts decreasing, whereas in the film, blood from the hand starts coming out from one place. And seeing that this was the same place where the hole had happened, the body closed it. But now the oxygen in their shuttle was getting low. That means the second hole was still left, and to heal it the body has to go outside. But he was not able to find another hole. On the other hand, Terry takes a drink pouch and pours out his drink. And as soon as this is done, the drink comes out of the other hole of the shuttle and freezes like ice. Seeing this, the body present outside closes the other area also, due to which his oxygen, which had reached 10%, becomes normal again. After this the body comes back inside, whereas we can see that there are many more holes in the fuel pipe of their shuttle due to meteoroids. But all of them do not know about this at all, so they try to ignite the shuttle by turning on its fuel to land on Mars. But during this time a lot of their fuel gets accumulated in space, and that accumulated fuel starts floating towards the back of their shuttle. Then Jim ignites the shuttle, due to which the fuel floating behind Shiva catches fire and causes a loud explosion, and its engine breaks apart, meaning that now everyone was badly trapped. Meanwhile, they remember about NASA's reply module, which NASA had sent into the orbit of Mars years ago. And this was the only way, with the help of which they could all go to the Mars safely. Here, at the behest of the body, they all come out of their shuttle, where the module is visible at a distance. At this, Roti decides to launch himself up to the free supply module by taking a string, so that he can connect the other part of this wire to it, and through this he can easily reach all the other modules. But due to its high speed it collides with the post module. And this happens because he is unable to control himself. That goes far beyond the voice model. But despite all this, he still managed to reach the wire to the resupply module. She goes ahead and launches a wire towards him from the wire gun. But that wire ends before it reaches the body. Therefore, Terry wanted to go further to save her husband, to which her husband told her not to, that your suit doesn't have that much fuel, that you can come forward and go back to the recapture module. So Buddy tells him to go back, but Terry was still adamant on saving him. For this reason the body removes its helmet, and as soon as he does this, his face freezes like ice, due to which he dies on the spot. Terry feels very sad seeing this, but at the insistence of Jim and the clan, she comes back. After this, all three of them somehow reach Mars and go to the base camp there, where Jim gets lush green trees, plants, water as well as oxygen level which is the same as on Earth. So everyone removes their helmet. Then suddenly Locke attacks them from behind. By somehow stopping this, everyone understands that we have come to save you. From all of them, Luke learns about Batty's death. He tells them all about that big white human face. Often some sounds keep coming from it. By placing them on X, Y, and Z accessions, I got a structure similar to human DNA. But the last part of the chromosomes is missing from this DNA structure. Seeing this, he says again that this DNA structure is completely similar to that of humans, to which Terry tells that there is only 3% difference in the DNA of chimpanzees and humans, yet we humans are so much more developed than them. And here the entire chromosomes are missing. So it is possible that this DNA is of G species. This means it cannot be human, that it is an alien species. Next we remember the incident of Phil giving candies to Jim. The GM understands how the DNA structure was prepared from the movie Candy, that this DNA has been intentionally left incomplete, so that we can complete it and send the right signal back to the giant face. He says that the team of people had fired some signals towards this face, signals which this alien species accepted as its answer. Because that answer was wrong, the thing attacked Luke and his team, considering them ignorant, in which luckily people's lives were saved, i.e. now we have to convert the chromosome missing from signal into signal, and then it has to retransmit the signal back towards Vishal face. After this, after detecting all the missing chromosomes, quickly convert it into a signal and transmit it towards Vishal face through a rover. As soon as he reaches there, a very bright light shines in his face, and with this light, a door opens there. Seeing this, Jim, Lou and Terry follow him inside the door. While those people give this instruction to the film, that if all three of us do not come out after a certain time, then you should return back to Earth from the people's shop without thinking, so that the people there can also be informed about the Sanjeev thing of March. As soon as the three of them reach inside, the door closes. Have seen the Jim there, that his device is showing Earth-like changes. That means this place has an atmosphere like Earth. So everyone takes off their helmets. After walking a little distance, the solar system is visible, in which along with the Earth, another planet similar to the Earth was visible. which was none other than Mars. This means that millions of years ago an environment similar to Earth existed on Mars. Just then an alien appears in front of them, whose facial structure was quite similar to that of humans. That alien shows up to all three of them. That one day suddenly a huge meteorite collided with Mars, due to which all the life on Mars started to die out and Mars started looking as it is now. Due to the same meteorite collision, the aliens living there, who were called Mossum, they started going out of this galaxy with many spaceships, while one of them went to Earth and left its DNA on Earth, due to which life started on Earth. And gradually humans also evolved along with other species, and because the Earth's environment was different from Mars. So now this means that humans evolved very differently from these aliens, that this Marshall is actually the ancestor of humans.
Here we are able to see or understand this alien. Kia is an alien right there. He was waiting for one of them who was very developed and could not survive for so many years. That someday some intelligent person will come and will be able to solve his riddle and give him the correct answer. These people give him the correct answer to the riddle, so the alien makes an offer to them. That you can go to another galaxy with me and live there, due to which Jim accepts his offer. And everyone decides to go back to Earth. Because Jim's wife had died, he had no one of his own on Earth. So no matter where he lives, it won't make any difference to him, so he accepts the alien's offer. As soon as Jim steps on a white object, at the alien's request, he sees it. It turns into a capsule and suddenly it starts filling with water. But the strange thing was that Jim was able to breathe easily even underwater, whereas the rest of the people came to Earth. We see at the end of the movie, that huge face breaks, out of which a huge alien ship comes out and goes towards space. And with this amazing thing ends there.